Hey everyone, it's Min, and today is another episode of having to trade the Nasdaq for Monday, June 24th. And basically, I'm just gonna provide like a breakdown on how that trend was playing out, and basically, what would have been the best trades to take for this day. So yeah, I'll just break it down for y'all. So first off, we're gonna take a look at the daily, just to get like a better idea on like how the market is currently. We've already had about 3 days of red selling, and based on past history, um, after 3 days of red selling, or even 3 days or 4 days of red selling here, we'll get like a pullback of some sort. I believe this could be like a quick retest of this level, and then we could potentially just sell off, get a really big pullback, and then just come back up, just like what we did over here back in May 31st. And the reason why like yesterday traded and had like a really big sell off is just because like there was that proper support at this level. We did bounce off of a fundamental at 900s and 900 19900s area as a support. And yeah, so I'm gonna go into the smaller time frame now. With the smaller time frame, basically with yesterday, just get back to there. As you can see, we actually ended up trending from the highs of the 20Ks down to 728s, and that's roughly about like 270 points of to the downside. And it's because like Nvidia has been selling off dramatically, but uh, anybody would actually be probably like scaling in on getting Nvidia shares, which I've been doing. So I've been actually adding it into Nvidia the entire time. I think they're very likely to like come back up into the price range of like 140s at some point. Um, just because like Nvidia's got like a lot of credibility compared to like most companies, and they're a large market cap. It is split. It's good for investors, and they always have like a booming business for their chipsets, right? So from the 20K marks, these are some of the levels that I currently have in the market, drawn out as you can see. But for simplicity on how I drew those and everything, I'm just gonna delete all of it and then just basically move to the back and show you where I got those levels from. So this over here is June 24th, and this right over here is June 23rd. So this was the Monday, this was the Tuesday, I believe. Oh no, this was the Friday, and this right over here was the Monday, and then just moving to the left again. So I'm gonna draw out basically on from the Friday until today. So from the Friday, this was the print of the highest point, 12:06 p.m. Um, within the consolidation range, and this was the lowest point right here, which is at 9:52 a.m. in the morning, and basically that was for the open market. So we got the highs and lows of the open market, and then we got the pre-market over here. So the pre-market was also around this level at 9918s. I'm just gonna leave that just because we already have a level around this level, so there's a bit of a confluence. And then basically with the overnight, we had 7:05 p.m. And 4:19 a.m. and 20,030s were the highest point in that price. And then with the next day, we have this. Um, I think I might go back until Thursday, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna go back until like we saw a previous trend of some sort. So it's over here, um, at this level. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. So I guess realistically, we didn't really have like a proper support or resistance at this point. Um, and basically you had to draw the support and resistance as the trend was going on with the day. But these were the levels that you currently had with the highs and lows of the market. And as you can see, we had like um, a little bit of like a wave pattern within this, and then eventually we just ended up rejecting it. So that would have been the resistance of the overnight low from a couple days back, or from the Friday. As for today, as you can see, we were trending above that. We broke higher, right off that support, and then we came back down. We broke that support, taking a short right here, retesting that, taking a short right there, and then basically coming out with profits. As this trend right here, I believe that this was partially also an area where it was like a support from on the daily range. So around the 9,900s, we had 900s as a support, and then just right over here, this was also a little bit of that support as well, which led to like how that trend was trading for today, for yesterday, anyways. And yeah, so we ended up printing a low, and then right after we actually broke this high, this was a higher low. We actually would have been able to take this as a horizontal piece in case it ever comes back to that price, as like a reference point. So now that we printed a higher low, we drew out basically a support for this price, and then we just kept on breaking higher and higher, and then eventually retested some sort of consolidation, which is right here from the overnight session. So now that we printed the high and then we came back down, for example, this price, it could have easily gone to the 20,020s. I was actually anticipating it to come to the 20,020s, and that this would have been like the support for the bounce. But, I used that as a reference point at that time. And right after we bounced off that level, I did take some long right at this point, got up right at the top there. Um, and basically, was expecting about 20,020s. I was expecting one more pullback, and then I would get in long right here. But right after it pulled back, I just broke below it, and then ever since then, I've been on a short bias with this, just because of the consolidation. I did want it to clear the 19,965s, but it just never cleared that point. So this right here is the minor support. This right here is the minor support. These are major supports. That's in the middle of the trend. Major support, major support, major resistance, and then major support at the bottom here. So those are things that to keep in mind. So for this level right here, this was a minor support, or I guess minor support and resistance, and this right here was also a minor support. So it's going to be like played in the reference of the day. So around here, I was watching it. I was expecting it to push above it. I did take some long here, got cut out for really quick, but luckily, I got a tight stop loss, expecting, trading up my plan and everything on what I was thinking was going to happen. It didn't end up doing that. It didn't break out to the over the resistance here, and then we just ended up selling off. I didn't take any longs through this whole trend, and basically I just waited for it to fall to a certain point level where I could take a long here. The 900s, which was on the daily range, was actually a key level. It was like the support from like 4 or 5 days back, and I decided that this would be a good area to take long. So I took a long right at the 900s level, came back down a little bit more. I bought the dip, and then I came out with profits on this trade specifically because I knew that there was like a support way, way, way back, very minuscule on the 900s. Then we broke above it. By this point, I stopped trading because I didn't know exactly where I was heading. If it did break above the 19,967s, I would have taken long for the 20K to 20s here, but that didn't really happen. So we came back down. Not a really good support range here, not a good support range down here. By this time, I didn't have my hands on the market at all. From this point, from 936s down to 907s, I just didn't touch the market. So over here would have been a good area to go long, just because it tried to break down on this red candle, tried to break below this level, the support, and the buyers held that. And on the next candle, it took a dip. It just swung right above this, and the entry probably would have been 9,844s, and then put a stop loss just right below this candle at 930 at 830s to keep it tight. And yeah, right after we broke above this point, this would have been a good take profit area at 19,868s. Either it started trending down again, or we broke above it. We did break above it, so holding our long would have been good. I would have, for example, scaled out of this position just to be on the safer side, and I wouldn't have gotten into that because I just didn't know what was going on at this price range, other than the highs down here and then basically the lows at this price. We broke above that, came into the resistance of this is one of the major supports from like an overnight low a couple days back. And yeah, we ended up consolidating right here off of that level. By this point, I would have probably drawn a pennant. I did draw a pennant actually. I wasn't even looking at the market from like 11 o'clock until like 12. So I left an hour of like that span just to let it play out a little bit, and it did play out into this kind of like pennant looking thing, but it's not really a pennant, I would say. Like it was lacking quite a bit, just because like for example the over like the highs right here, it didn't push that actual high, and this right here didn't actually push that support, so there was no real pennant that was formed. You could have easily played it off and did this, which was also reasonable. We broke above it, came back down, retested that support, bought long right at this level, and then came back up with a profit of like about 20 points. And you could have like done it over time. But as for myself, I didn't look at the market the entire time, so I ended up capturing like the bigger picture at this point, and I was just looking at it at a fundamental level, um, just for this value, and knowing that like there was a support at 900s on this point as well. This is what like the reference kind of looked like for the day. So we broke above this, came kind of consolidated in between this range, in and out the entire times, and this was the profit ranges basically from 915s to 900s, and it was just a 15-point range, in the middle here. You can see how tight that was. And then right after at this point, we did try to break this the support for this level, and right after I got to this point at 900s, I actually went long just because it looked like it was hugging it better. So I decided to go long, thinking that it's going to break out to the upside and probably run towards this resistance here. One more time at 940s. I ended up taking a profit really quickly just because like I saw this little rejection candle off the second push, and then from there it was basically a fake breakout, and it just started downtrending. And then right over here it was way too choppy for anybody to play. So from 2 p.m. till 4 p.m. that like from 2 p.m. to 2:35, this was pretty risky. Even over here was risky. So we would have just waited until it got to that overall like support level, that major support level, and then to consider going long. Right after it bounced right here, the accumulation for the buyers was very different. We started getting more consecutive candles compared to like this entire like 30-minute period. So going long here would have made sense to capture a small profit. And then this ended up pushing towards the resistance and then selling off for the rest of the day. But yeah, that's basically everything that I have for Monday. And yeah, I hope y'all like the video. And yeah, feel free to like and subscribe if you want to know more, or if you want to see my videos more often. Yeah, just do that. And I do have like a free Discord. You're more than welcome to join that. And I'm always like basically putting in my ideas and what I think about what the market's going to do today. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, and have a great time.